All right, broski, I had a little bit of time and I thought I'd do another video because Jason Blaha just like pumping out videos left and right, man. Jason Blaha, Strength and Fitness. He says here, replied, Jeff Nippard, is Sam Sulek's training dumb? Okay. I haven't seen that video by Jeff Nippard, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's new or something. I got to go there and check it out. But let's review Coach's video.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I thought I would sit down and do a video for you guys.
Yes, it is Jason. Yes. Yes, Jason, it's you.
A daily dose of aspartame.
Aspartame, poison.
Forearm gains, on point. Alright,
Man, that is so gay. You got to stop that, please.
let's talk about Jeff Nippard. Somebody sent me a video, actually I believe they sent it through Instagram. They're like, what do you think of this? Jeff is defending Sam's training, and is Jeff right? It's a good question. I actually enjoy a little bit of banter back and forth with Jeff. Out of all the fitness personalities, the reason being, he'll at least discuss stuff with you rationally. Like any other perspective you have on Jeff, no matter what you think of the guy, I think everyone who's interacted with him will admit he will discuss this stuff with you rationally, intellectually, and man to man. So I always give credit for that. I'm going to have a little bit of good and bad to say here, and I want it to be in the context of I understand where he's coming from, and he's not wrong, but I don't like a certain part of this. So I want to get out of the way that I will acknowledge that Jeff is very well educated in training. He has a great deal of experience training under the barbell, okay? And he has gotten pretty good results overall. Like, I don't think anyone can deny he's built a pretty good amount of size and strength over the years. He has results. Unlike a lot of the people out there who do argue in things, they're either...
Man, he's a fake natty, bro. Come on, what are you talking about? This guy's like going on and on about his boyfriend, Jeff Nippard. Are you serious, coach? I told you, man, coach, I think coach is coming out of the closet, bro. It's LGBTQ or some shit, man. This has got to stop. The gay for pay shit, G for P.
small and weak or whatever, and no one cares. Jeff has actually put his money where his mouth is.
Yeah. Jeff, your boyfriend, your boyfriend, he's so knowledgeable, man. He knows all this stuff and everything. That's why he had to take steroids, right? Because he's so knowledgeable in building muscles. That's why he can't do it by himself. He has to rely on drugs and shit and everything. Compete these phony shows with drugs and everything. Because, I'm an influencer, man. That's how I make my money. I'm a con and a scam.
So, give credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this.
Give credit where it's due.
Is he right about some of the data on lengthened position partials? Yes, and this is something I've been saying a long time. A lot of people are like, man, you were talking about this like 5 years ago. Yep, yes I was.
This whole partials thing, Lincoln, everything, oh man, everything works until it stops working.
Stretch positions, as long as there isn't some sort of active insufficiency, and usually if we're using free weights, it's usually going to be good. Certain machines and stuff can create it. Some other exercises can, but usually when we're dealing with weights, we don't usually have active insufficiency at lengthened positions. And lengthened positions means when the muscle is stretched. In other words, triceps, when this is stretching the tricep, right? It's not at the lockdown. You guys get the idea. Quads, when your knee is fully bent, you're in the lengthened position. So on and so forth. When the muscle is stretched under tension. And the reason
You're under Lincoln position when it's stretched under tension. What is this stretching going to do, man? More inflammatory response, like a penis pump? I'm a trained athlete. I'm going to stretch my muscles in the stretching position. I'm going to just stretch it. I'm going to stretch it. I see a lot of people stretching, bro, on the floor doing gymnastics and shit. Stretching doesn't make your muscles bigger. It doesn't do shit. It'll give you an inflammation, that's for sure. Are you talking about that kind of hypertrophy through inflammatory response? What are you talking about?
There's actually causation here. It's not just, hey, we're getting some studies showing that these are pretty good for hypertrophy.
Bro, there's so many ways to get... he says this is so good for hypertrophy. There are so many modalities to hypertrophy. You could get myofibrillar, sarcoplasmic, hyperplasia. You can get inflammation. You can get blood flow restriction. They do blood flow restriction, hypertrophy. They want to restrict blood in that one area for a while, and it looks nice and all pumped up there too. What else is there? What else is phony out there? Oh, lactic acid, gravitational loading and unloading. You go to the gym, you load this weight on you, and then when you go home it unloads. Then you gotta come back and do it all over again, like that inflammatory response, blood flow restriction, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, glycogen loading, and creatine, water loading, creatine, all these weird fucking supplements, bro, and everything. Garbage. Hypertrophy has many meanings.
In some cases, just as good. I don't necessarily buy the evidence that it's better than full range of motion on some of the studies, because there's very little data to support that. Now, what we are seeing though is there's pretty good data saying that, hey, half reps done into the stretch position.
Everything works, especially getting these phony muscles, bro. But will it work getting you real muscles? No, it won't.
As long as you're hitting that deep stretch, is possibly.
You could go to the gym forever and you could be like, hey, I'm building a muscle. And then you're like, oh, I got a pump. What are you associating that pump with? Why are people doing blood flow restrictions? Ask yourself this question. What does blood do? What does restricting blood do to one area? Oh, I tied up this area with bands and everything and I'm blood flow restricting. Okay. And what? Is it going to magically build a muscle? Like, what the fuck are people thinking in their head? It doesn't build a muscle. It just puts blood in that area. You're putting blood in that area. It's temporary. You understand me? Man, people are really gone out of their gorg. I think they're really gone. Christ.
To full range of motion. And when people hear, they're like, well, that can't be right. And I kind of have the same feeling, because there are going to be muscle fibers that are only going to be used at certain joint angles. Okay? And we need to be clear with that. There may be a few fibers you're missing. But
a few fibers that would be used in the joint, You got hybrid, type 2, 1, this, that. There's a whole bunch of kind of fibers mixed up in there.
The majority of the data tends to suggest lengthened positions give most of our muscle growth. And we know why that is.
Whoa, a lengthened position gets most of your muscle growth. What type of muscle growth? Again, hypertrophy has many meanings. Many meanings, bro. Which one are you talking about? If you're a coach, you must know this. You can't just spew out something and say it'll get you growth. Why don't you tell the audience what type of growth it is? What kind is this if it does that? Can you please show us some data? Prove what type of growth are you going to get in this so-called lengthened position or whatever the hell you're talking about?
There's a good explanation for that, and that's simply because we know mechanical tension is the largest driver of hypertrophy. It's not.
Mechanical tension is the driver of hypertrophy. What type of hypertrophy? Because it doesn't drive real muscle growth. It'll drive artificial. So what type of artificial muscle growth are you driving with this mechanical tension? Because we know real muscle has to be grown outside the gym. A mechanical tension can only build an artificial muscle. You understand me? It can either be through blood flow restriction, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, getting the pump, inflammatory response, what is this? Lactic acid buildup, gravitational loading, unloading. Yeah, man, these are all phony. So which one of the phony ones? Please tell me. I'd love to know, Coach. You're such a fucking genius. Why don't you fucking tell all of us which one it is?
It is mechanical tension, and volume can be used to achieve more mechanical tension.
Mechanical tension and volume. I showed you that report, remember, from PubMed. 6 weeks of training, trained young men, fiber hypertrophy. What is it? What are they getting? Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. What is sarcoplasmic hypertrophy? It's a type of artificial muscle growth, okay? It's fluid. For no other reason, you're training the muscle to put fluid in there, to make pretend muscles. That's it. For cosmetic purposes only.
But when it comes to tension placed
now, that may not be your goal, but that's what you're doing, and you don't realize it in the back of your head because you're a moron. Get it?
The muscle, lengthened positions usually put us into a disadvantaged position. The muscle is in a disadvantaged position mechanically.
What the fuck? It's in a disadvantaged position mechanically, and that's how it grows? What the fuck, bro?
Therefore, it is forced to work harder. Therefore,
Yeah?
we have the potential for the most muscle fiber recruitment.
Okay, you recruited the muscle fibers. Okay, you pick up a weight and they recruit. What do you get when you start lifting a weight? What does it recruit? Motor units, you fucking dumbass. It recruits motor units and more of these androgen receptors to maximize that force production. You fucking, this guy's dumb, man. Get the fuck out of
The
here.
muscle is being disadvantaged. The muscles work way harder at those final 10 degrees of joint angle than they do just about anywhere else.
Fucking work more and more harder in the factory when you're lifting the box. Those boxes and heavier and this and that. They're working more and more. You're recruiting the muscles, lifting the boxes in the factory and construction, moving those bricks and shit, and bricklaying, doing fucking heavy loads and stuff, and the wheelbarrow and everything. They're recruiting, you fucking idiot.
It's not in the contracted position. It's when they're stretched. And we've always noticed.
What type of, and is this like hypertrophy? What type of damage is this as well? Is this hypoxic? Is this oxidative? Like, there's so many damages as well. There's different kinds of damages. It could be toxic, it could be hypoxia, it could be oxidative, it could be muscle injury, it could be micro injuries, it could be, I don't know, fiber splitting. It could be a lot of shit, man. I don't know. And when it comes to hypertrophy, there's so many hypertrophies. Pick your choice. Which one are you doing? To me, this sounds like it sounds like inflammation. That it's an inflammatory. You're getting more of an inflammatory response by doing that. Yeah, that's about it. As far if you're lengthening it and you're a trained person, lengthening this, you're definitely going to get inflammation. As far as sarcoplasmic, that has to be from your diet. If you're eating carbohydrates, it'll load this glycogen in there. That's the whole thing. It's a storage for energy. It's crazy.
That's why we're always like, man, people who stretch and a lot of stuff get bigger muscles. Example,
people who stretch get bigger muscles? That's the penis pump. That's what they were. I did a survey. I should put it back in my community section like I had before. They gained very little, if anything, stretching the penis for months at it. It took them months to get, like, I can't remember. There was a video on it. Some guy talked about it too. Like 0.3 something centimeters or some shit. Like very little length, if anything, they got using a penis pump. This is the same thing. It's nothing. It's nothing. There's no real growth there. This is crazy because the stretch isn't long enough. It has to be the stretch on it would have to be, I don't know, it had to be astronomically long. The weight hanging on your arm or your leg or some shit, bro. It just doesn't, like, oh, I just stretched it a couple seconds and boom. No, you're not getting growth. It's either sarcoplasmic or inflammatory response.
People who squat really deep tend to have their quads grow faster. People who do deficit deadlifts, sometimes they get better hamstrings and stuff.
Yeah, they get a lot of sarcoplasmic hypertrophy and inflammatory response and a bunch of other shit.
You know, doing the normal ones. Stands to reason. People who...
You know that burning sensation that you get when you're lifting weights? You go, holy fuck, feel that burn. That is lactic acid building up in the muscle. Yeah, and that in turn, that and these chemicals building up, they cause the inflammatory response. That's why you see these guys, they come in the gym, they look like kind of normal. All of a sudden let's say they start doing pull downs for their lats. And then all of a sudden he's like flaring out his arms, like his lats are all pumped up and his arms are protruded now, they're pushed out. He looks bigger, right? He looks pumped, he looks massive, he looks bigger, he's like flaring and shit and everything. I saw a guy in the gym like that. I looked over at him, I was just watching him. And he was like, I knew right away, it's sarcoplasmic. I can tell right away what this guy's getting. He got all pumped up and his arms were sticking out like a goof. Yeah, because on a carnivore diet, you would never get that because there isn't any glycogen in carnivore diet. You're not going to get pumped, but you'll look solid and hard and good. You'll get bigger over time only if protein synthesis exceeds its breakdown. But these people, they're crazy, man. They're chasing fake shit, but they think it's in the back of their mind. They think that's real.
Bench and pause on their chest. Sometimes people use dumbbells who go deeper. They get better chest development. It's been noted over time.
Yeah, of course.
The stretch positions are worth a lot.
Yeah, just go down deeper and everything, and your chest will get bigger, filled with more of this sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Have you seen Larry Wheels? He gained 53 pounds of sarcoplasmic muscle. He ate fucking herbivore diet for 5 days. Look at him. He fucking blew up. He went like from 230 to 284. Usually his weight is 270. He went past 270, went all the way up to 284. You think that's real muscle in there? What do you think? He stuffed his muscle with? What do you think went in there, huh? In 5 days, 53 pounds of what? Crazy, man.
He's not wrong there. Now here's where I'm going to call Jeff out.
No. And Larry Wheels worked out in those 5 days because he said he did.
This is where we're going to disagree. Jeff, what in the hell does Sam have to do with this? Sam is not doing that. In the videos that you linked, I'm looking at the videos and I've watched Sam train a little bit. Sam does not do Lincoln position partials.
Because Sam is not stupid. He knows that lifting is meaningless. It's worthless. He knows. He's intelligent enough to know it's sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. It's fake muscles. He knows that's why he eats donuts. He eats fucking cookies, donuts, fucking chocolate milk, Cocoa Puffs and shit and all that all day. Because he knows it's just worthless. He knows that in order for protein synthesis to exceed this breakdown, it's horrendous to try to build real muscle. It's really hard, even if you are on a steroid, because steroids, they don't build muscle. Protein does. Steroids don't build muscles. Steroids may aid, may help you, maybe lifting a heavier lift to get more adaptations. Yeah, you can get another adaptation, possibly in strength, definitely in strength, these androgen receptors. But as far as the mass part, you may get some more of these so-called muscle injuries because you're lifting heavier. It drives you to lift even heavier beyond, and you get these structural damages in your body. And so you're able to activate the progenitor cell. It can donate some of these things, and boom, you can bypass nuclear domain, blah, 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 blah. A little bit, not much. In the beginning, you'll get an influx of it, but it's really hard to bypass. You got to do something specific. All your trainings are not geared towards that. Hypertrophy has different modality. The training is different for each hypertrophy. That's why they have blood flow restriction. What do? Well, that hypertrophy, they fucking put these bands and they tie them up, right? Yeah. Are you gonna do blood flow restrictions just without bands and say, hey, and claim it's blood flow restriction? Fucking no. You have to use fucking bands to make blood flow restriction, and you have to do that type of training. Duh. Now, when it comes to glycogen, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, it's glycogen loading. You're just coming there to pump, fluffing and pumping the glycogen in the muscle. And as far as inflammatory response, that's the majority of people getting that shit in the gym because they're fucking trained. They're coming in there all the time like goofs, fucking chronic lifting all the time. And then a gravitational loading, unloading, and they get lactic acid buildup and shit and all that. Now, the question is, are they injuring muscles? Are they going through repair and remodeling? Are they actually doing that? See what I mean? Are they actually getting fiber splitting? Are they actually doing these things? No. And what else are they getting? Oh, they keep coming in. They're getting damaged, all right? I'll tell you what damage they're fucking getting. Oxidative and hypoxia and shit. Yeah, and some toxins, because if their food is toxic, that will cause damage to the myofibula for sure. These fucking oxalates and shit. They fuck out of you, man. Yeah. Guess you keep your body busy. You're accelerated aging. That's what you're doing only.
He does mid-range partials. Sam does not stretch his muscles. That is why people are saying, hey, his training is junk.
He doesn't stretch his muscles. He's lifting. What are you talking about? He's just lifting weights. Yeah.
This is the product of, hey, I just use a ton of gear, guys. I use 5 grams of gear and a bunch of growth and insulin. That's what you are seeing. And I've done videos explaining. So what? You could do the same thing. Now, I'm not saying you're going to have that nice ripped look like he is on anabolics.
when you're getting dry on anabolics. But you can get that same size by eating a lot of glycogen, yeah, a lot of carbohydrate, yeah, and you'll get those muscles. You can train for glycogen loading. A lot of people are doing it anyways in the gym. They don't even realize that that's what they're fucking shooting for. Duh. And then they're like, my gains are going, my gains are going. Gains don't go if they're real. They don't go. They don't go away. They don't go anywhere. If they're real gains, they don't go away. That's why people say newbie gains. Oh, I have solid gains because I got newbie gains. Okay, what'd you get after newbie gains? Sarcoplasmic, what? Inflammatory response, blah, blah, blah. Bunch of garbage in there. Water, creatine, what? Haha.
Yeah. And I guess my question for Jeff is, why do we need to be dishonest about what Sam is doing to highlight a point? I get what you're saying as far as highlighting the point, and you're not wrong. I mean, if he did not use salmon as an example, and he simply stated the data, I would kind of nod to Jeff and go, yeah, I think you're largely right here. No major disagreement from me. If you look and compare the scientific literature with what we have watched in coaching circles.
Yeah, what is the scientific literature? Come on, tell us, Coach Blaha, what is it? He's fabricating this
In the lifting world for 50, 60, 70 years, we look at the reasons why, not just saying, hey, this is what it shows, but do we know why it's doing it? Yeah, there's a pretty good explanation. There's a good biological explanation.
Yeah, what is the biological explanation? Why don't you fucking show us, man? Where is it?
To why it happens. We see it happen in the real world, and they're replicating it in the lab.
See what happened in the real world.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say, yeah, that's kind of hard to argue with. Valid point.
Man, all you have to be fucking stupid, whoever is fucking subscribed to this channel, to listen to this Nippard. This guy is insane. What the fuck? What kind of coach is this? He doesn't know anything.
I'm going to give a win to Jeff on that one. The problem is using Sam, and it's like, Jeff, I love you, bro, but...
Man, his subscribers, the people that comment on his fucking channel, they deserve to fucking fail. Like the dumbasses that they are. We all know, look at this comment. We all know how Boston Lloyd was using when he won some idiot wrote this. What is this? To be fair, Jason the Kid has squatted 500 pounds. Wow, 12, absolutely buried. Garbage, knees. I love your Sam Sulek videos. Do more, okay. Field advantage of these lengthened partials applies to people who more idiots. This is an idiot. Jason going to do reverse hypertension, but reverse. When the comments are fucking stupid too. It's probably him even writing to himself. I don't fucking know. Right, the progressive is on par with Carver. Blah blah. Some garbage fucking comment. Faker sophistication. Duh.
I think that you're supporting Sam purely for the clout because he's so popular. You're like, oh, let me just agree and use Sam.
You're just jealous, Sam. People watch him because he's entertaining, you idiot. You're not entertaining. You're not fun to watch. You're kind of fun to make fun of. That's about it.
When you have enormous amounts of training experience, you personally know. And I hope I'll get you to admit to this. You know that every single clip that you saw, he did not go into a lengthened position.
He doesn't have to. He's pumping glycogen. He's doing glycogen hypertrophy training. I don't know what training you're talking about, but the training that Sam Sulek is doing is sarcoplasmic hypertrophy training. It isn't myofibrillar. It isn't hyperplasia. It isn't fucking fiber splitting, that's for sure, because he ain't powerlifting. So what is he training for? Sarcoplasmic. He's bodybuilding. He can't bypass myonuclear domain. He's not doing that type of training to bypass it. It has a ceiling limit. So that's out. So what does he have left? Sarcoplasmic, that's the one that gets you like the penis pump. It makes you fucking massive. You put more of this fluid, you look pumped out like crazy. That's why bodybuilders, they carb load before they go on stage like crazy. They could put on 20 pounds in 24 hours. Yeah. They dry out and then boom, they carb load like crazy and it just builds up like nuts.
We're all mid-range partials. He does not touch his chest on the incline. He stops short. All that rowing, all those lat pull downs you showed, he absolutely did not stretch his lats.
Because he's pumping glycogen into the muscle. He doesn't give a shit.
He did not go into lengthened positions.
He's not going to tell you in his videos, hey man, I'm doing sarcoplasmic hypertrophy training. He's not going to say that. You can, if you were a person with knowledge in bodybuilding in this world, in fitness, whatever you want to call it, then you would know that it's sarcoplasmic hypertrophy training. That's what he's training for. He's bodybuilding. He doesn't need to build any muscle. He doesn't care about real muscle. He's building artificial muscles because he's using an artificial drug. Why the fuck would he go and build real muscles? It's a lot of work for him. He doesn't have the time or effort, doesn't want to put in the work to do that. You understand me? He doesn't want to do that. Yeah. He may not even want that muscle anyways in the end when he does go off the steroids. All that fake sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is going to drain out.
Preacher curls are all, everything is partials. He doesn't go into lengthened positions. They're not short nor lengthened position partials.
It's actually unhealthy to hold all that sarcoplasmic hypertrophy in the muscle. It's nasty. It's extremely bad for your health.
Mid-range. I don't think Sam knows what a full range of motion exercise looked like if it walked up and slapped him in the face.
Does he have to? Full range of motion? It's sarcoplasmic, it's glycogen loading, bro. It's sarcoplasmic hypertrophy training. It's kind of obvious on the face of it. Look at what he eats and the way he trains. I've watched him.
Okay? If a full range of motion exercise walked up and slapped the chocolate milk out of Sam's mouth, reducing his chances of developing diabetes with all that slim he'd be penning, he wouldn't even know. I don't think he's ever even...
He's on the verge of possibly getting diabetes, eating like that, all that sugar. It's crazy.
...seen a full range of motion exercise at any point in his entire life. And Jeff, watching it, you know damn well he's not going...
He's lifting artificial weight, man-made weight. He's taking artificial hormones, and he's eating an artificial diet. Yeah. What did you expect?
...to lengthen positions. He is not stretching any of those muscles. They're all right in the middle. He's just skipping all of it. But he's also in a position where it's like, who cares if it's inferior growth? I can just add another gram a week to my stack. And I'll grow anyways.
No, he still has to eat that herbivore diet, and that hormone will grab that stuff. It's not I add another stack. It's because your body rapidly adapts to the amount that you're taking, and then it stops working. So you have to take more of the steroid to make it work. And he'll come to that realization eventually. He'll be injecting himself, and he'll notice that it's not working anymore. It's not grabbing this glycogen. It's not loading the glycogen in the muscle anymore. Yeah.
Right? Just up the dose, bro. Boston Lloyd style. You're going to be joining him. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today.
Okay. I hope that was it, Coach Blaha. Because any more of that, and I think I would have get a headache for sure. Tell me what you think about that. I'm out of here. Like, subscribe, support the channel. Sam Sulek training dumb? No, of course not. He's training for sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, so how could it be dumb? Jeff Nippard is an idiot, and so is this guy. They're two idiots. That's why they love each other. See you in the next one. Ciao, friends. Don't forget to support the channel. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Helps the algorithm.